Welcome to Sci-Fi Frontier. I'm Dominic, and in this video, I'm going to talk about the movie The Man from Earth. So I came across this little gem of a film on Amazon Prime while searching through all the science fiction movies. And I watched a trailer, and it looked very low budget, but I decided to give it a chance anyway, and I actually really enjoyed this film. So I'm just going to give a quick rundown of the plot without really giving anything away. So the movie is about a guy named John Oldman, who is played by David Lee Smith, and he's a professor, and the university that he's been teaching at, he's been there for the last 10 years, but he's decided to abruptly, he has to move on. And he's almost trying to slip away without anyone noticing, without his coworkers or anyone like that. And it's odd because it's just a very sudden, abrupt thing. And so he's at his home, packing up, getting ready to leave, when some of his former professors from the university that he works at, they show up there and they want to give him a going away party. So they all sit down in his place, and they're all asking why he's leaving so suddenly, and he just keeps telling them he just needs to have a change. So then he decides, as the evening goes on, they have a few drinks, and he's packing his stuff up, getting ready to leave. Then he decides that he's going to tell them something about himself that he's never really told anyone. So first he frames the question as he's thinking of this concept to use for a science fiction novel. He goes, so what if there was a man on Earth today that was 14,000 years old, and he was originally a Cro-Magnon man? And that's what they said in the movie, and I think that's actually an error, because I think Cro-Magnon man goes back further than that. But he's a 14,000-year-old human. What would that be like? And so he's asking all the different professors. So they're all really jumping on board this hypothetical idea of this man. And so from there on, he takes it one step further, and he tells them that he is, in reality, a man who has been on the earth for 14,000 years. So he's been alive for 14,000 years. And then that's where the movie goes on from there. And what I really liked about this movie is, well, first of all, what kind of got me hooked to watch it in the first place is I like looking up B sci-fi movies that have actors from Star Trek in it. So this one had John Billingsley, and he was Dr. Phlox from Enterprise, and also Tony Todd, and he played a Klingon a few times on Star Trek The Next Generation. But I also had William Katt. Now, if you don't know who he is, he was in that TV show back in the early 80s, The Greatest American Hero, where he played the school teacher who found that super-powered suit, but he didn't know how to use it. So he was in the movie as well. But what I liked about the movie is it's only got a budget of about $200,000, but they made like such a clever film out of the limitations that they had. So all the movie had was the cast and one set, the house. That's it. And whatever vehicles that were there, like a pickup truck and a couple cars and stuff like that. And that's it. That was all there was in this movie. And the whole movie is just exposition. It's just this guy telling the story of how he's been on Earth for 14,000 years and all the things he's experienced. And what makes the movie interesting is all the different reactions from all the different professors. William Katt, his character is an anthropologist and like archaeologist. He's wrote a bunch of books about that. And so he is offended by this whole idea that what this guy's claiming. He doesn't like it. He thinks he's just full of crap. And the Dr. Phlox character, he doesn't believe him, but he's having fun with the idea anyway. And Tony Todd's character, his character is really into it, and out of all the other characters, it seems like he really wants to believe that this guy's 14,000 years old. And so what's interesting about the film is you go through the movie wondering, well, how's it going to end? Is he going to be 14,000 years old, or is it all just going to be a joke, or is it going to be real? So I'm not going to spoil it or anything like that. I usually just spoil the shit out of movies when I talk about them in my videos, but this one I won't. I'll leave the ending, up for you to find out if he is or isn't. But a really clever way of doing this film, and I've seen other movies like this before. It kind of reminded me of another movie I saw that was similar to this, that all took place in one room, and it was just people talking, and that was 12 Angry Men, and I really enjoyed that movie. You wouldn't think, well, how could that be interesting? A movie where guys are just talking in one room. This is the same thing. They're in the house, just having a few drinks, and it's just talking, and that's it. And what I like about this is it goes to show that you don't need hundreds of millions of dollars to make a good science fiction movie. Take like the recent Star Wars films, where Disney has like unlimited resources almost. They could hire the best directors, the best writers, the best special effect houses, and they can still churn out these subpar movies that, in my opinion, I think that new trilogy on a whole has failed. That's just my opinion. But then you have a movie like this, and I think just the very limitations of what you got to work with when people are put into those situations, I think that really forces you to be really creative in what you can do. And so I think this is a really clever film and really interesting. And the whole idea behind the movie I thought was very interesting. Like, what if you were 14,000 years old? Like, all that you would have seen in those 14,000 years would be incredibly amazing. You would have seen all kinds of trends and civilizations come and go. And you would have an insight on humanity that no one could even fathom. So that, I don't know, that whole idea, like, it's got a very deep, or I guess high concept to it for such a low budget film. But yeah, it's on Amazon Prime. I would definitely go check this one out. I really enjoyed the movie. And there's also a sequel to this that I watched as well that's on Amazon Prime, and I'm going to talk about that one in a later video. But yes, definitely check this movie out. So that's everything I got to say in this video. Let me know what you think in the comments section, and I will see you at the next one. Thank you to all of my subscribers, and thank you for watching this video. And if you're new to the channel, like, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification when new videos are uploaded.